Welcome to Wisdom Leadership Global Academy's podcast. Our theme for the month for the year is, let me get to my screen here. Mhm. Cultivating the will to lead. And our topic for today, May the 1st, 2026, when accountability vanishes, so does our influence. Meaning, many leaders rely on their titles, positional power to get things done. But titles only command compliance, not commitment. And I want to share a key leadership nugget that the late Dr. Miles Monroe stated. True leaders do not seek power, but are driven by a passion to achieve a notable cause. I thought that was profound.
Can you read that again?
Okay. True leaders do not seek power, but are driven by a passion to achieve a noble cause.
Hmm.
Said that wrong. Let me do it again. True leaders do not seek power, but are driven by a passion to achieve a noble cause. Even though it's
Okay.
gonna cost you, but it's a cause. All
hmm
righty. It's gonna cost you, yo. All right. All right. So I want to share two testimonials. But well, I want to share these two testimonials, those that have been under my leadership and those that have worked with me while I was a leader. So the first one is none other than, I think you know who she is. Hello there, my name is T.
Oh, it is. The volume is going on my end.
I'm going to pause it just a second. Okay, you say you can't hear it.
Correct. It
That is
starts out and then it starts out while I can hear her and I
yes.
can hear me, shall I say. And I can hear the video, but then it goes away.
Okay, let's try it again.
Okay.
If not, I'm just going to go on and I try to work with it again the next time.
Okay. Yeah. It's interesting how it starts and then it disappears. So yeah. We're just reading the word.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let's try Alicia. Let's try the next one and see if we get the same thing. Hopefully not.
Yeah, no sound. We didn't even start out with any sound.
Right.
No. So there's still no sound.
Okay. All right. We're going to stop it there. And I will try to come back again and see exactly what is going on, why you can't hear it. I send Zoom a message, so I will send them another one. All right. Okay, let's. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to the next screen. All righty then. I do technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on, but I will again get with Zoom again to find out why we can't hear that. But again, introduction to those that know me and to those that don't know me and those that will come back and listen to the replay. Again, my name is Dr. CJ Lee, CEO and founder of Wisdom Leadership Global Academy Corps. I am thrilled. I can't say it enough. I am thrilled to share my passion for leadership with the world. I am a published author. I published a book in 2014 titled How to Be an Effective Teacher in the Public School System. And I put the link there in case anybody is interested in purchasing the book, know any teachers, and you want to share this book with the teachers. There go the link right there that you can just click on and it take you straight on over there to Amazon. I also hold a doctor's degree in education leadership professional practice from Trevecca Nazarene University right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Just to give you a snippet about Wisdom Leadership Global Academy, I want to jump down to the last sentence. Equipping and empowering the next generation of emerging leaders for the marketplace is our assignment. That's my heart and that's my passion, is to equip and empower the next generation of emerging leaders. I also included our website. If you're interested in, please check out our website. And I also noted our email address there. We try our best to respond back within 24 to 48 hours. All right. All right. As you know, our topic for today, when accountability vanishes, so does our influence. And I got two areas here, but I want to just share. We're talking about uh, um, give you more insight about accountability. And you can read that or you can take a screenshot of that where it talks about reliability is the currency of power. When we stop being answerable for our outcome, people stop looking to us for direction. They lose trust. They lose faith in us. And we don't want that as leaders.
Right.
And I want to go to the next era, talk still about accountability, but I want to go to the third sentence. We can, and this put a light bulb in me, turned on a light bulb in myself. We cannot command a room if the people in it don't trust us to own the results. Let me read that again. We cannot command a room if the people in it don't trust us to own the result. Simply put, when accountability vanishes, we don't just lose credibility, we lose the right to lead the conversation.
Mm.
All right. And I just want to still on dealing with this topic. I think I'm gonna be on it for a couple more weeks because accountability is really broad. It's really broad. Accountability is the bridge between our intention and our impact. If the bridge collapses, our message never reaches the other side.
Mm.
Accountability is considered the lifeblood of professional and personal authority. When we as leaders stop being accountable, we don't just lose a metric, we lose the moral right to lead.
Mm.
And if I want to just share some core pillars for this session. Number one, the mirror effect, accountability as self-mastery. First point is influence doesn't start with a title. I have mentioned this during the previous session. It starts with the person in the mirror. It starts with us. When we get up in the morning, it starts with us. When we look in the mirror, if we cannot hold ourselves to a standard, we have no ethical grounds to demand it from others. I got to read that one again. If we cannot hold ourselves to a standard, we have no ethical grounds to demand it from others.
Mm.
We all have, listen to this one here. We all have probably heard this phrase before. Do as I say, not as I do.
Mm.
Everybody probably heard that. The phrase is classic idiom. used to describe hypocrisy. It
Mm,
typically it is typically spoken by someone who is giving advice or setting rules that they themselves fail to follow. Oh, and that's we know a lot of leaders like that. You know,
mm,
they say, "Do as I say, not as I do." Look, your words incredible.
mm,
Listen, here goes some breakdowns here. I did a little digging on this here. Here is what it really implies and why it's so significant in leadership and personal growth. The literal meaning: the speaker is acknowledging that their behavior is a poor example.
mm,
But you know, some leaders still expect the followers to verbally follow their instructions.
mm,
Okay. They are essentially saying, follow my advice, but don't initiate my behavior.
mm,
You see what I'm saying? They are essentially saying, follow my advice. Follow my advice, but
mm,
don't imitate my behavior. Hmm. See,
mm.
it's kind of hard for me to really, it's hard for people to follow your advice. And if your behavior and your advice don't match.
Yeah, because oftentimes your behavior, your character is what I see before I hear you.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
So it would be very hard for me to digest what you're saying, like you said, when the
Mm-hmm.
behavior and when your character doesn't line up with the words that are coming out of your mouth. It is
Mm-hmm.
literally going in one ear and coming out of the other. Because I'm looking at how you're acting, I'm looking
Wow.
at how you're behaving, I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
at what you're displaying. You know what
Mm-hmm.
you're displaying, and it's telling me simply that you don't even listen to your own self. You don't hear
Mm.
your own self
See,
because you're not following your own advice.
that's right. That's right. That's good. That's good. That is
Yeah.
awesome. I like that. Thank you for that. The influence problem. In the context of leadership and accountability, this phrase is often considered the influence killer, the credibility gap. Influence is built on the alignment of words and actions.
Mm,
When a leader says one thing but does another, they create a credibility gap.
mm,
Your it's shot. Action is greater than words.
right.
Human psychology is wired to mirror behavior more than instruction.
Mm,
If we as leader tell our team to listen, this is a good one. If we as leaders tell our team to be on time, but consistently show up late, the team subconsciously prioritize the action tardiness over the instruction punctuality.
there you go.
The loss of trust. It signals to others that the rules apply to them, but not to me, which breeds resentment and erodes the culture of accountability.
Mm,
And here go a good one. Why people use it? Self-awareness, the warning. Sometimes it is used with a touch of humility. A person might say it to a child or a mentee as a way of saying, I have made mistakes and developed bad habits. Please be better than I am. At
mm,
least you owning up to that, you know, I look, I ain't right. I ain't
right.
stable.
Right.
Power dynamics. And listen, more often it is used by those in position of authority to maintain control without having to exercise self-discipline.
Mm,
A better alternate. True influence is found in the opposite sentiment. Watch me, then do as I do. This is the essence of leading from the front or modeling the way. When our action provide a blueprint for our expectation, our influence becomes more effortless because it is rooted in integrity. The
mm,
bottom line, do as I say, not as I do, is a shortcut that eventually lead to a dead end.
mm.
Long-term influence requires the courage to let our actions speak louder than our words.
Mm,
All right, I'm gonna move on to my next screen. Still on accountability. If we can just, if, Tia, you take one and I take one, and you can take the last one if you read that for me.
Okay. Um, let's pull it up
See it?
here. Trust is predictive. Trust is predictive. Influence relies on others' ability to predict our behavior. If we dodge accountability, we become an unknown variable. People don't follow or invest in variables, they invest in constants. Mm-hmm.
The
All right.
second bullet, the power vacuum. Influence is grounded by others. When we stop being accountable, we create a responsibility gap. Someone else will always step in to fill that gap and take ownership. And in doing so, they inherit the influence we just abdicated, renounced, or relinquished our authority.
Mm. Ownership equals agency. By saying if by saying it wasn't my fault, we are
Mhm.
essentially saying I am not in control. If we
Mm.
aren't in control of the failures, no one will believe we are in control of the future successes.
Ooh.
Mm,
Life changing
wow.
shift moves from who is responsible for this mistake to where did I fail to provide the clarity or support needed.
Mm,
Accountability is not a reaction to failure, it is a proactive commitment to excellence.
mm, mm.
Next screen, accountability. We continue with that. I'm going to take Danica. You read one, and we can go take turns. I'll do the first one. The
Okay.
ownership gap, the space created when we as leaders retreat from a result.
Borrowed authority. Reminding others that influence is a loan from the team, secured by the leader's integrity. Oh, that's good.
Mm. Number the third bullet, relational capital. Accountability is the deposit.
Mhm.
Influence is the interest earned.
All right. The bottom line, we can't outsource the consequences and expect to keep the reward.
Mhm.
Influence is a direct byproduct of the buck stopping here.
The
Wow.
currency of trust. The point is, every time we as leaders avoid difficult conversation or ignore a broken promise, we withdraw trust from our influence bank.
Mm.
The life changing shift. Realize that people don't follow leaders because they are perfect. They follow leader predictability leaders. Accountability creates predictability, and predictability builds the safety required for influence to grow.
Mm.
Next
Mm.
screen. I know we won't get through all 10 of these questions. We just continue next Friday, Lord say the same. But if you would take question number one, and if you want to elaborate on it, I can just still give you feedback.
Okay. If our team's current level of commitment was a direct reflection of our own accountability this week, what would their performance look like? If our team's current level of commitment was a direct reflection of our own accountability this week, what would their performance look like? I would say that it would look like a team um, who takes the responsibility of ownership,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
owning, you know, that's what our commitment would reflect. One that doesn't decline accountability, but
Right.
embraces it,
Right.
accepts it,
Right.
owns it.
Right.
And that is a reflection in our performance. We know how to, if we make a mistake, we know how to own it. If we encounter a failure, we know how to own it. We know
Mhm.
that we don't let that failure define us. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
helps to build, enhance us, and teach us what not to do moving forward.
Right, right. And you think about it, the mirror test, looking at ourselves, look within,
Mm-hmm.
looking at ourselves to see, okay, what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got to start being as leaders holding ourselves accountable for what goes on at the team, because the team mirrors what we do
Right.
as leaders.
Exactly.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
great. Thank you. Number two, when we eventually leave this role, we will be reminded as a leader who stood in front of the team during the storm, or one who sought cover until it passed.
You will be remembered.
Yes, it said, when we eventually leave this role, will we be remembered as a leader who stood in front of the team during the storm, during the test, you know what I'm saying, during the deadline, the struggles,
Mm.
okay, or one who sought cover until it passed. Meaning y'all
Mm.
do the work. Let me know when y'all finish. I come back out. The default setting. That's what I'm talking about. The default setting. Leaders getting man. I'm thinking about this. I want to say he was a fire chief, and this fire was going. I want to say it from the story. I'm trying to remember the story, but all the firemen, different places, came out to help them, but the fire chief of this particular city, he came, booted. He remembered that, hey, I used to be a fireman too, but before I came a chief, he came and
Mm.
put on his old uniform and went
Mm-hmm.
out there in the fields to help his team.
Mm.
He didn't wait till everything, all the fires were out and everything was
Right.
dug. He went out there and rolled up his sleeve, put on his old uniform, and got out there and got dirty with his team.
And that's an example of one that you can follow, one
Mm-hmm.
of great influence because he wasn't, he came out of, I guess, I don't know if he
Took the
was in
cap off.
retirement, was he in retirement
Oh, he
or
wasn't. He wasn't.
oh,
He wasn't
he
cap.
was a
The
current,
chief.
yeah, yeah. So he got in the trenches.
That's it.
He got in the trenches
Mm-hmm.
with his employees. It's like, no, I'm not gonna let you. That's somebody that cares, and that's somebody that's a servant. He
Mm-hmm.
served first. He, like you said, he took off the leadership cap and
Yes.
he
Yes.
became a servant.
That's it. That's it. Also, that's it. And number three, the credit/blame ratio. Would you take that question?
Sure. If we stripped away our title and our authority tomorrow, would our current level of accountability be enough to keep people following us?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it should be, because you're not defined by your title. It's just a title.
Right.
It's not who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's a role that you represent. But what
Right.
you do again is what people are following. They're following your actions and they're following what you're saying because they see what you're doing.
That's awesome. Yes, yes, yeah. And they quick. There was a song that back in it, they used to sing, "Give them the flowers while they live." When you have a leader that's outstanding, a leader of character, a leader of integrity, you know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? They stand out amongst the crowd, amongst their team, and see, it's not that the team working hard, but they got so much respect for their leader. You don't even have to ask them to work extra or do overtime. They
Right.
already they already doing it. They
Right.
already doing it because they don't want to see that leader miss a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
They want that
Mm-hmm.
leader to shine. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
what you're talking about. Exceptional, a servant leader, a leader that
Yeah.
adds value to their team.
Yeah, absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
righty. All right. I know we won't, like I said, we stopped at number four, so we'll pick up at the next week with number four. But I just want
Okay.
a closing thought provoker.
It's 12:30 already. Oh
Yes.
wow. Jesus
Yeah, that's
Christ,
how
that
we
time's
roll.
rolling.
Yeah. Hour, because I know we got, to 12:35, because I try to wait 5 minutes before people come on. But
Mm-hmm.
I can go ahead and do number four since we got a few more minutes. The silent audit. The silent audit. Let me see, can I move this over so I can see my question? What is the one conversation we have been avoiding because holding someone else accountable feels like a threat to our likability? You know what I'm saying? The silent audit. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about uh um being liked. It's about doing the right thing. That
That's
means that
right.
doing the right thing start with us as leaders holding ourselves accountable for our actions, for our failure. If I messed up, I messed up.
That's right. And
You know what I'm saying?
you're doing more harm than you are good, and trying to maintain your likability.
Yes,
Yeah, you're definitely not helping them. Even later on down the road, you're setting them up for failure versus
that's right.
success.
That's
Because,
it.
and it's just like what I was sharing, with you about what one of my our leaders were talking about, how nasty the team was
Mm-hmm.
because their previous leader literally did not hold them accountable. And now
Mm-hmm.
new leaders coming into their role are, it's like they're suffering the consequences because of the lack of accountability. And now trying to whip these people in shape is proven to be a struggle, which is why, not only does the leader have to have that confidence, but also have to have the backing of his or her leader, to let these people know, I'm going to hold you accountable. This is
That's
what
right.
you're here to do. This is what your responsibility. This is what I'm going to do. I'm here to serve. I'm here to help,
Mm-hmm.
and do whatever is needed. But it's just that's a clear sign of a team that is failing miserably because they lack accountability. Nobody held them accountable.
And and that goes for not just in the corporate America, any organization, the government, the seven mountains of influence, even at
Mm-hmm.
home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We got to hold ourselves accountable because, like, with kids, you tell them to do right and they see you doing wrong, but we don't want our kids to question our attitude or behavior or action. Well,
Mm-mm.
I'm going to
Mm-mm.
close out with this this thought provoker. Our influence is directly proportional to our willingness to be held responsible for outcomes we didn't personally execute, but for which we provided the environment.
Mm.
We can either have excuses or have influence. We cannot have it both. Accountability is the price of admission for the right to lead.
Mm. Mm.
All right. Well, TL, thank you so much. I'm going to cut this the recording off here. All right.
Right.
Thank you so much for joining me today for this
Mhm.
session. Accountability. That we always talk about accountability, even ourselves, even those that we know. Just it's just accountability. Oh, it's just like accountability and communication. They work hand in hand. We got to be
Right.
accountable. We got to communicate when we mess up, when we do something right. Hey, we just got to be accountable for our action and our behavior. So again, thank
Mhm.
you so much for your support. And hey, I look forward to next Friday's topic rather. It's going to be awesome. We're going to continue. We're going to pick up. And still, we're going to be dealing with accountability because we're going to have a couple
Yeah,
more weeks on accountability. So hey, I hope you took some good notes.
you did.
All right. Well, then you enjoy the rest of your day. Let me go back here. Can you see my screen here? Let me go back here. All right. Oh, Lord. I got a lot of good closing summaries. So, but I'll do that next week. Thank you for
Okay.
joining. I look forward to you joining me every Friday at 12 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time for a 30-minute recharging our leadership battery.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Awesome.
All right, I'm your host, Dr. CJ Lee. There go again our website and our email address. All right, TL.
I couldn't
Thank you.
see any of that, but okay.
You good? Oh, I
No,
forgot.
it's all
Sorry.
good.
It's all what you heard me say. You want to see?
Mhm. No, I'm good.
All right. All right, girl.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you in a
You
little
too.
bit.
All right. Bye bye.